Iron Lung shouldn't be successful.
I see that question in your eyes.
An indie game adapted into an indie movie somehow ends up on more than 4,000 screens worldwide, funded, directed, and distributed by just one guy. How can a guy, that to a YouTuber, do all of that while giving Hollywood a true run for their money? That is usually where the headline starts and the story goes. But it might be the least interesting angle of this whole theatrical release and run. For everyone, Iron Lung's success came out of nowhere. For Markiplier, it was obvious, if not inevitable, because it wasn't a fluke. It was 14 years in the making.
Hello everybody and welcome back to Let's Play Dead Space. Okay, still don't know why I came here.
Iron Lung is Mark Fischbach's, better known as Markiplier's, latest directorial release. It is based on a game by David Szymanski and it has become quite the headline maker. A YouTuber famous for sitting in a room making gameplays makes a very serious movie and his fan base plus some shows up, leaving behind the comfort of their handheld devices and passive watching to commit 2 hours of their uninterrupted attention to their favorite YouTuber. This shift from Markiplier couldn't have come at a better time. A time where analog bags and having intentional offline time is trendy. Any excuse to leave your devices in your pocket is a welcome one, and what's to hate when it's a person you already like? It wasn't just fans' blind faith in Markiplier's ability to make something big screen worthy that filled the seats though. Quite contradictory to popular belief, this is not Mark's first rodeo. Mark has previously made 3 full-length interactive productions with larger sets, bigger cast, and multiple endings. They were internet native, sure, but they were legit.
Closing the blast shields. Truth be told, we couldn't afford to show that anyway.
If being a successful YouTuber teaches you anything, it's how to capture attention. And capture attention they did. Everyone saw Mark's ability to make something ambitious and high quality, something worth their time. Well, everyone except for Hollywood. As seamless as the transition was for the audience, Mark may have a completely different story. Despite having already made 3 movies worth of material, if not more, he was but a YouTuber in Hollywood's eye. Iron Lung didn't only have the pressure to be good, because we know he can do good. It had to be theater good. It had to be legitimate.
He wanted to do 3 theaters to start with.
3 theaters.
The guy from Centurion Films wanted to do 3. And I said to him, like, I think that, and don't take this the wrong way, I think that's an insultingly low number, not to me, but to my audience.
Which is why I believe the story didn't start when he started making this movie. It started 14 years ago in his apartment when he started making YouTube videos.
Hello everybody, my name is Markiplier and welcome to Five Nights at Freddy's, an indie horror game that you guys suggested en masse.
Creatives hear this advice often. Just start. To create anything, all you have to do is just start. And sure, you do have to just start, but starting is the easy part. Starting is the romantic part. You start a new doc, you start a new design file, you open up a new journal, you label it My Projects, and it's perfect. It is freedom from the mundane. You have an idea, and the idea is perfect, for it does not yet exist. Then the idea starts taking form, and the form is ugly. It is difficult, it has roadblocks, it is challenging you to become better. What started as an escape and passion has now turned into obligation. I mean, this body is a machine that turns ideas into CO2 and naps. It took Mark 3 years to make Iron Lung. The first trailer for Iron Lung came out in 2023 with the optimistic description of coming to theaters soon. Then the non-romanticized real-world shit got in the way. Strikes, post-production delays, unions, paperwork, logistics.
I worked on the movie on weekends because that was the only time no one would bother me. Everyone else takes weekends off. So I didn't. And that's when I made the movie.
He started with the ambition to show the snobs that he's not just a YouTuber trying to cash in on his followers. He's serious. He wants to make art. He's changing the status quo. But what started as his ambition and passion quickly turned into a test of his endurance. And this to me is far more interesting than any other headlines I've read. How Iron Lung is probably a perfect metaphor for its own creation. Okay, imagine you're a prisoner and you're in some serious trouble. You're probably going to live out the rest of your days in a jail cell. You're offered a plea deal. All you have to do is go into an ocean of blood in a barely functioning submarine. But if you get us something, you're free. Will you take it? It sounds scary at first, but it is a real, if not your only chance at escape. The deal means freedom and the instructions are straightforward. Go down, search the ocean, come back with something useful, and you're free. That is until the expectation changes.
You did test this thing, right?
This is the test.
The instructions don't suffice anymore. You find yourself stranded at the bottom of the ocean to fend for yourself while having a vaguely religious experience with the weight of whatever is left of humanity on your shoulders. Singular shoulder. This was supposed to be straightforward. You do this one simple task and you make it out. This is not what you signed up for. This does not feel like freedom. This feels like divine responsibility bestowed upon you by you. Because let's be real, what do you get at the end of it? Freedom? For what? A doomed species? Dying right there sounds so much easier. At least you gave it a good shake, eh? Everyone you love and everyone who loves you is already gone. It's just you in a dark room, going over the same thing over and over and over again, hoping for something to be different this time. It's a claustrophobic madness. If whatever you're doing dies right there, no one will care. For no one knows. Only you know.
Hi, my name is Markiplier. Welcome to Iron Lung. I'm gonna go into the ocean.
I have been looking for a good analogy to explain this feeling of passion turning into obligation when I stumbled upon this clip of the creators of K-pop Demon Hunters talking about keeping their vision for the movie alive for 7 years that it took for them to make it.
The analogy is, you know, in Children of Men, there's that famous one where they're trying to carry the baby through the war zone up into safety. That's making an animated movie. You get your little baby in the screenplay, and then in storyboards it can fall apart, it can die. The animation is where you can get to lighting. You light the character wrong, it can die.
And then you're like 7 years of building this up and carrying this baby to the finish line, and then it could just die.
Sounds like a fun job, huh?
Animation!
They compare it to carrying a baby through a war zone. Basically, you have given birth to the baby. Congratulations. Now keep it alive. That too while everything is actively trying to kill it. Great on you for starting that new project. Bravo, I'm so proud of you. Now finish it. Go on. I'm here. I have all the time. Finishing a creative project is hard. Keeping it alive through countless days of iteration, feedback, self-doubt, so many roadblocks is hard. In the process of 3 years or 7 years, your project can die at any time. And that is not by the fault of you not starting or not being motivated enough, but by not having the endurance to carry it through the roughest and toughest days, by not having the endurance to bring it to a finish, by concluding it. Creativity is romanticized a lot. It is supposed to be natural and effortless. The words are supposed to ooze out of you, and your pen is taken hold of by something divine deep within you that even you don't know, and a masterpiece is just born. Well, it turns out it's anything but effortless. It is showing up day after day after day, ensuring your idea does not die, putting your everything into something just to ensure it does not die. Not having it die becomes your responsibility, your obligation, because it is your idea and only you know of it. So if you let it die, it's gone. No one will ever know it because only you know it and only you can keep it alive. Now, if you wish to draw one, there is a straight line going through becoming a beloved YouTuber, bringing your passion projects to a completion, and searching the blood ocean to save humanity. The line would be showing up hurdle after hurdle. Your passion doesn't keep itself alive. You have to kindle the flames by your bare hands. And at the risk of adding to the toxicity that I criticized a minute ago, I do find it romantic. What do you mean if I keep showing up, I will get somewhere? Now that sounds like real power. The power to start a YouTube career or start your creative career at any point in your life, or to make a chart-topping movie all by yourself. And the power is sadly not in just starting, but actually finishing. You just have to give your tooth, nail, blood, sweat, tears, some money, years of your life, maybe some relationships, but at the end of it all, you get to turn your ideas into something tangible, something you can show to people and say, this is what I did all that for. Don't I love being a creative? So when people say Iron Lung wouldn't have been successful if it wasn't for Markiplier, they're exactly correct. If it was made by anyone other than the guy who is used to showing up every single day, challenging himself to do better year on year for 14 years, it wouldn't have been successful. Because when a guy like Markiplier makes something, its success is obvious, if not inevitable.
I'm comparing to my past self. And this may be yesterday, it may be years ago, it may be like my childhood self. Those are the only people in my life that I need to compare myself to.
Hi, I'm Jade. I didn't get the opportunity to introduce myself. This video was me searching for something in the blood ocean in a barely working submarine. Honestly, I really wanted to get this right for what I'm trying to say without, again, overly romanticizing anything and making, Markiplier a caricature of himself, but also actually respecting the feat he has been able to achieve. I hope I was able to get anywhere with that, plus trying to reach out to fellow creators. Within the time that it took for me to write this video and film it, Jacksepticeye announced that he is producing film adaptation of Bloodborne. What a time to be alive. Are movies the next natural step for YouTubers? I have no idea. We know if one person does something and it goes well, people start trying to recreate that success. Not talking about any of the YouTubers, I'm talking about these big media houses. But despite of that, I have a lot of trust in Jacksepticeye, and it's kind of refreshing to see that these big media houses are trusting YouTubers. So I hope more YouTube filmmakers get that trust as well, not just the popular ones, but so many YouTubers who have been doing filmmaking right here on YouTube. I think I've said YouTube too many times. I need to stop saying that. Anyway, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, you might also like my video on Arcane, where I talk about Arcane and womanhood. Crazy. That is if you do want to watch that. If not, I am happy to conclude our journey right here. Thanks so much for watching, and I hope you're doing well.